Matthew Monk, General Manager of the Beef Operations, Sundown Pastoral Company. Sundown Pastoral Company's an aggregation of both cropping and beef cattle operations. It's predominantly on this side in New England, and it comprises of Sundown Valley, which is 45,000 acres. We have a feedlot at Gunee, which is 4,000 acres in a 10,000 head capacity. We've recently sold two farms, Paradise and Newstead, to Paraway, and we still manage those farms for a transition period. The cropping operation's based at Moree, and it's basically a 25,000 acres of irrigation, predominantly cotton, and there's about 40,000 acres of dry land. And there's some of the dry land's used for cattle operation. There's about 10,000 acres it's used for cattle at Moree. So as a group, the farms, with all the farms included, have a capacity of running about 60,000 head, or turning over 60 to 80,000 a year. We've basically back-to-back grounding Wagyus for AACO, which is a very simple form, and they're usually on farm for 200 to 300 days. So focus is, obviously the owners were manufacturers, came from manufacturing industries and the shed business. So they have very much a factory mentality. And they're outside the industry. They're agriculturalists now, but they weren't. So they came in and structured their businesses as a factory rather than a lifestyle. So it's an interesting concept, and they've always been very, very strong on technology. The key in our cattle operations is a computer-based system for our recording, performance recording of cattle, invoicing of cattle performance, because we get paid kilos of beef produced, so we need a system in place that firstly measures that, secondly records it, and thirdly invoices it out. All the systems are linked together. They go back to Brisbane to the server. All systems do that. So we don't have backups with USBs or any manual backups, and that takes away the risk of losing data. That heavily relies on connectivity. It's been a network of different ways we've implemented ourselves with help from other industry people. We were probably the first to use high gain aerials probably 6 or 7 years ago. The software we use was developed by two people that came out of the hospitality industry, and they actually did the accommodation to the Olympic Games, and also they developed the touchscreen for the restaurant trade. And by chance, one of the partners had a cattle operation, and he thought he could apply it to the cattle operation, as he successfully did. And you find you get a lot different focus on collecting data and running a business. Technology, there's so much technology out there we can use, but the limitations are the connectivity, and hopefully in time we'll solve that, and we are solving that internally. There's some great technologies like drone technology that's out there. Unfortunately, because of our scale, it's just not big enough, and to get to what we need to cover, 45 kilometres by 35 kilometres, you need something fairly robust and something that's very expensive. So it's actually, at this point in time, it's cheaper to use helicopters. But in time, I believe that's what will happen. The drone technology will hopefully come into its own. From my point of view, we've been working on walkover weighing. It's conceptual, it's actually commercialised. And we're actively trying to put it into our system because we can see great benefit to us. The other key things would be GPS tracking. It's very important because we have customers with cattle. We don't own the cattle, the customer does. And it's very important that it's very transparent and they can see what's going on when you're running millions and millions of dollars worth of cattle for someone else. You've got to be transparent, and they've got to have full trust and systems in place to ensure that the outcomes are going to be the right outcomes and there's a profitable outcome for them.